Riley is presently a youngster and is going to begin secondary school. Euphoria, trouble, dread, outrage, and repugnance have now made another part in Riley's psyche called healthy identity. The mentor of a group called the Fire Falcons sees Riley play, and she hands her and her companions a flyer and advises her to come to camp and go for the group, to which they all concur. The feelings inside Riley's head utilize a component Euphoria had concocted to dispose of all Riley's pessimistic recollections in a bid to establish a decent first connection. The prior night Riley leaves for camp, an alert sets off inside her head for adolescence. When the feelings switch off the caution, a lot of psyche laborers barge into Riley's brain and start redesigning the control center, making a wreck. Before they leave, they caution the feelings of fresh debuts. The next morning, the feelings understand that Riley goes overboard when they contact the control center. At the point when Riley goes to hockey camp, she figures out that her companions, Effortlessness and Bree, will be going to an alternate secondary school, which disturbs Riley, however vows to have fun at camp. Riley coincidentally runs into Valentina Ortiz, Riley's golden calf. Much to the old feelings' shock, 5 new feelings show up. The pioneer uneasiness, jealousy, humiliation, boredom, and wistfulness. The old feelings are exceptionally inviting to the new ones, but they actually stress that they are assuming control over Riley's existence with stress. Satisfaction and nervousness banter over how Riley ought to act during hockey camp. Inside the storage space, Riley meets the remainder of the group and they welcome her to sit with them at lunch, however she needs to sit with her companions. Throughout the break, Riley hears the group discussing her, however she goes to converse with Valentina and she consoles her. At the point when the young ladies pick their groups until the end of camp, she picks Valentina over Bree and Effortlessness. Tension figures that things ought to change, and she dumps the identity into the rear of Riley's brain and gets shame to put the old feelings in a tremendous glass container, which is eventually taken to a vault beneath, where Riley's fanciful companions are found, and one of them, a dull hooded figure, assists the feelings with getting away. Higher up, nervousness and different feelings make a lot of terrible recollections and degenerate Riley's healthy identity, making what uneasiness accepts to be a superior future for Riley. In the interim, Riley raises a ruckus around town early, very much like Valentina. Val welcomes Riley to spend time with her companions later, and she concurs. The old feelings send Misery back up to Central Command, while the others head for the rear of Riley's psyche to recuperate her identity. Euphoria, Nausea, Outrage and Dread ride a broccoli, while Riley gets along nicely. After training, Val and her companions show Riley the mentor's red diary, making Riley stressed. Val and her companions educate Riley regarding scrimmage and that she could join the Fire Falcons tomorrow. Every one of the feelings become anxious, and Delight, who was attempting to stay good, snaps. However, different feelings urge all her going. At the point when Bitterness shows up back at base camp, she takes Apathy's telephone to hold Riley back from looking at the mentor's diary prior to being caught by the new feelings. While trying to arrive at the rear of Riley's psyche, Euphoria and the others find that nervousness is debasing Riley's confidence, causing harmful associations with her Bree and Effortlessness, so Delight and different feelings assist with sending good messages to Riley. Satisfaction urges the brain laborers to assist them with sending positive recollections and mood-killer nervousness projections. Uneasiness converses with Misery. Sadly, Riley searches in the mentor's diary and finds the mentor thinks she isn't prepared at this point, so tension concocts pessimistic thoughts, making the old feelings be trapped in a twisting of terrible contemplations. Ultimately, the feelings come to the rear of Riley's psyche and recover Riley's identity from the highest point of the heap of antagonism and awful recollections. The feelings recover the healthy identity, and they use explosive to make a torrential slide, conveying them right back to the Central Command, where tension is making more ruin during Riley's last hockey game. Riley gets along nicely, however rapidly becomes completely focused on turning into a firebirds of prey and starts playing forceful and harms Beauty simultaneously, and the mentor sends her to the punishment box, where nervousness makes Riley have a fit of anxiety. The old feelings return to base camp to find that uneasiness is making a hurricane of pessimistic contemplations. Satisfaction figures out how to convince uneasiness to relax, making Riley feel more loose. Riley then, at that point, proceeds to apologize to Bree and effortlessness for how she had acted, and she accommodates with her lifelong companions. Nervousness allows satisfaction to assume command over the control center, and Riley plays an astounding game. After the hockey game, Riley becomes friends with the Fire Falcons. Inside Riley's psyche, the two ages of feelings likewise become a close acquaintance with one another and cooperate to safeguard Riley. And Bliss gets nervousness her own special solace seat. Riley gets the mentor's text, affirming her as a Fire Falcon, and the feelings consent to help her in her steadily changing identity. As the end credits roll, Riley's folks ask her how camp was, yet she simply answers with "it was great."